He said, I don't know. Then I sent message to the West Africa, to Kush. He didn't respond.
Yeah, he said he was going to be traveling yesterday. So we already agreed that I was going to host then till about 2 o'clock. Then by that time, Sadif was finished, close from work. Then he would take over by 2 p.m.
Anyway, thank you. So we can start now?
Yes, Maharaj, we can start.
Okay. Jai Radha, Kopi Jana Girivara Kopi Jana Girivara Sodanandana Padujana Yasodanandana Padujana Yamuna Dhira Jana Girivara Gopi Jana Girivara Gopi Jana Yasodhanandana Sajajana Yamuna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Hastottara Satasvishriman. Divine Graces Confound Acharya Jagat Guru. Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajagacharya Hastottara Satasvishriman. Divine Grace. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada ki jai. Anantagari Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Shyama Radha Kunda Giri Gauravan ki jai. Vrindavan ki jai. Mathura ki jai. Navadu Maipur ki jai. Jagannath Puri ki jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi ki jai. Yamuna Mai ki jai, Genjis Mai ki jai, Tulasi Devi ki jai, Bhakti Devi ki jai, Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glorious assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru Sri Gauranga. Namo Vishnu Padya Krishna Vijay Krishna Bhakti Tuta Shanti. Namaste Krishna. Gaura Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Dhira Nastapai Swatadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamasuki Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavati Vasudevaya Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnanandjana Salakaya Chakshu Nitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Vidati Swaha Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Param Sahagana Lolita Sri Visakantam Cha Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kantarat Kantanamasuti Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavana Suti Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Vancha Kalpatarujascha Kripa Sandhujayevacha Patitanam Pavanavyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Ki Jai Hare Krishna
Hare Krishna.
Bhakti Jagannath Mishra Mahautsava. After Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared, he was fasting yesterday. And so the fasting, although there was heavy feast, the Jagannath Mishra celebrated it today. So today will be heavier feast than yesterday. So please enjoy your feast. Hare Krishna. We'll continue our discussion from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 12. The birth of Emperor Parikshit. We'll continue from text 1. Sonaka uvacha aswatamol Lord Pasristena Brahma Sirish Norute Jasa Uttaraya Hatu Garaba Isena Jivita Puna Sonaka uvacha aswatam Tamnu Pasristena Brahma Sirishnoru Tejasa Uttaraya Hatu Garba Isena Jivita Tuna Shri Sonaka Uvacha Aswatam No Pasristena Brahma Sirishnoru Tejasa Uttaraya Hatu Garba Isena Jivita Puna. It says Sunaka said, the womb of Uttara, mother of Maharaj Parikshit, was spoiled by the dreadful and invincible Brahmastra weapon released by Aswatthama. But Maharaj Parikshit was saved by the Supreme Lord. Yes. When Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb, Aswatthama has intention to wipe out. He has killed the 5 children of Pandavas. It's a retaliation for the massacre of his friends and master, Dhira. So he wanted to revenge. So seeing that the successor of Parikshit Maharaj, of the Pandavas, is coming and desiring to finish so that they will know trace of the Pandavas. He has killed the children. I want to kill another child I was coming. I want to kill that also. So everything is finished. This is how demons works. Demons are not happy seeing devotees. The demons are not happy. They see devotees are not happy. Why they're not happy? Because the demons who would stand against their evil activities is a devotee who will stop them. Devotees are impediment for demonic activities. They're going to preach and expose their deviation. They also let other people know their demonic nature. They want to see the truth. If you don't know what is the truth, if you don't know there is a second choice, so you have no choice. But when you are made to know the second choice, nobody can deceive you again, because now you see that there are two things. So devotees are always a disturbance to the demons. So Shatama wants to finish the plan. So he released a whip from master to keep Parikshit Maharaj. He has not seen Parikshit Maharaj. That means Parikshit Maharaj has not offended him. Why you want to kill him? Huh? He has not seen Parikshit Maharaj. Why you want to kill him? Although he has not seen him, but he knew that he's a devotee. He's a devotee coming. You know he's a devotee. And they don't want devotees to come. They expose their nonsense. If we want to kill. So Sunaka Rishi wanted to know. Actually, the Uttara's womb was destroyed. Actually, the Parikshit Maharaj body was destroyed. His body was destroyed. Krishna has to create another body in the womb. How long does it take? How long does it take Krishna to do that?
No.
How long does it take us to create something? Yes. So Krishna to create another body for Maharaj Parikshit, it doesn't take him long time. The sages assembled in the forest of Naimisharanya inquired from Sutra Goswami about the birth of Maharaj Parikshit. But in the course of the narration, other topics like the release of the Brahmastra by the son of Drona, his punishment by Arjuna, Kunti's prayers, the Pandavas' visit to the place where Bhishma Dev was lying, his prayers, and thereafter the Lord's departure for Dwarka were discussed. His arrival at Dwarka and residing with the 16,000 kings, etc., were narrated. This is previous chapters we have treated. So the sages were absorbed in hearing such descriptions, but now they wanted to turn to the original topic. And thus the inquiry was made by Sonaka Rishi. So the subject of the release of the master weapon by Ashwatthama is renewed. Text 2. How was the great emperor Parikshit, who was a highly intelligent and great devotee, born in that womb? How did his death take place, and what did he achieve after his death? Parikshit Maharaj was protected. He was protected in the womb. Krishna protected him in the womb. Maharaj Parikshit is especially famous as one who is protected by Vishnu Vrata. And when he was unduly cursed by the Brahmana's son, he could have invoked the mercy of the Lord to save him. But he did not want to, because he was a pure devotee. A pure devotee never asked the Lord for any undue favor. A pure devotee never asked the Lord for any undue favor. So protection is undue favor. Why did he protect him in the first place in the womb? Protection is undue favor. Krishna is declared everywhere to be the protector of the devotees. In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, I'm the sweet deliverer. I'm the sweet deliverer of my devotees. And Krishna has explained many in the past. In the past, Krishna has explained how he takes interest in protecting the devotees. So how is this undue? How is protecting the devotees undue? And why Krishna came in the womb to protect Maharaj Parikshit. The body was burnt. Krishna created another body for him right there in the womb. So Parikshit didn't feel anything. He didn't feel anything. But why he didn't protect him when he was cursed? Okay, I didn't protect him. Improper is saying undue favor.
You know that if it's aware that Krishna protected him in the first instance without being requesting, then he's a surrender, so immediately as supposed to know that everything is in the hands of the Lord.
The Lord wanted him for a service. The Lord wanted him for service. And he has finished the service. Therefore, it is not that Krishna did not protect him. It's not that Krishna did not protect him. He came for a service, and the service is finished. So what to do? Go to the next thing. Right? This is what is happening. So it is not that Krishna is not protecting him. Krishna has stopped protecting him. Oh, I've done it already now.
You are muted, Maharaj. You are muted. Unmute yourself.
The moderator should be conscious, you know.
Yeah, I was sorry. I was trying to unmute you, but I was unmuting VDD Swami archives instead. Sorry, that was what the delay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
A pure devotee never asked the Lord for any undue favor. Maharaj Parikshit knew that the curse of the Brahmana's son upon him was unjustified, as everyone else knew. But he did not want to contract it because he knew also that the age of Kali had begun and that the first symptom of the age, namely degradation of the highly talented Brahmana community, had also begun. He did not want to interfere with the current of the time, but he prepared himself to meet death very cheerfully and very properly. Being fortunate, he got at least 7 days to prepare himself to meet death. And so he properly utilized the time in association of Sukadeva Goswami, a great saint and devotee of the Lord. So Parikshit Maharaj knew that it was his time. Before this time, Uddhava already informed him that he was going to leave timely. So Parikshit Maharaj knew. He knew everything. So I have a duty to do, and although there was an attempt to stop Krishna's plan, and nobody can do that. Nobody can do that. Nobody can stop Krishna's plan. So as Aswatthama tried, he couldn't succeed. Krishna personally entered into the womb of Uttara, prepare another fresh body for Maharaj Parikshit, and gave him chance to take birth so he can do his duty. Now Parikshit Maharaj knew my service is completed and I have to leave. So it does not matter the way a devotee leaves the body. What matters is what is the destination of the devotee. That's the most important. What is the destination of the devotee? Suppose if I'm told that if you allow me to shoot you now, you go back to Godhead now. But please do it. Please do it. I will say, please do it. You go back to Godhead, that is sure, there's guarantee. Please do it. Do it. Or if I throw you off the cliff, you go back to do it. Whatever way I can go back to Godhead, do it. Do it. Parikshit Maharaj is aware. He himself, as a pure devotee, has a power to contract the curse. He has that power, but he didn't do it. Neither did he pray to Lord Krishna to do that. Krishna, please don't allow me to be destroyed by the enemies. He didn't pray for that. Immediately, Prabhupada said here, immediately Parikshit Maharaj removed his crown, changed his dress, and left the palace as exact way the person leaves the storeroom after passing through. So Parikshit Maharaj left and he came to take association of Sukadeva Goswami. In this association, he was constantly hearing what the Supreme Personality of God. What can be more than that? We all respectfully want to hear about him, Maharaj Parikshit, to whom Sukadeva Goswami imparted transcendental knowledge. Please speak on this matter. The effect of such a bona fide hearing, the effect of such a bona fide hearing, not hearing, but bona fide hearing, bona fide hearing and chanting is what we need. A devotee should not ask why I'm not making advancement. I'm hearing for years. Why am I like this? Yes, we're hearing, but is it bona fide? What's the quality of the hearing? What's the quality of the chanting? That's the most important thing. This process of bona fide hearing and chanting of Srimad Bhagavatam was equally shared by both the hearer and the chanter. Sukadeva Goswami was qualified. bona fide. Parishad Maharaj also was qualified, bona fide. Therefore, their hearing and speaking, their hearing and chanting was perfect. Very perfect result for both of them. Maharaj Parishad and Sukadev Goswami were serious performers of the first two important items, namely the process of hearing and chanting. The process of chanting and the process of hearing. And therefore, both of them were successful in their laudable attempt. He said, recited Srimad Bhagavatam in devotion, and the great king had it properly. The king did not feel any shock of electrical current from the master, nor did he become unconscious while receiving knowledge from the master. One should not therefore become a victim of this unauthorized advertisement made by some bogus representative for Vedic forest. The sages of Namisharanya were very respectful in hearing about Parikshit Maharaj because of his receiving knowledge from Sukadev Goswami by means of ardent hearing. Ardent hearing. Ardent hearing. We already talk about bona fide ardent. He was very staunch. He's a staunch hearer. He's a staunch hearer. Sukadev Goswami was hearing, he did not blink his eyes. Parikshit Maharaj did not blink his eyes when he was hearing. Sukadev Goswami was also speaking without tiredness. Both of them were bona fide. Therefore, the hearing process and the speaking process produced a perfect result. Sukadev Goswami became perfect, Parikshit Maharaj became perfect. Because both of them, they did a perfect hearing and chanting. Ardent hearing. Ardent hearing. You know that the spiritual master will inject you with an electric shock. And then you become electrocuted, and then you get a shock and become what? Perfect. And the spiritual master who made you become zero because he has exhausted his power, he invested all the power on you, so he's now powerless. That is cheating. That is cheating. It is said that one can become purified by contacting Krishna because Krishna is perfect. Krishna is pure and perfect. And he is inexhaustible. If he is perfect and complete, he is inexhaustible. That is why anyone who also comes in contact with him or his representative will also become pure and perfect. They not get exhausted. So one who can make you a pure devotee cannot be exhausted. Anyone who becomes exhausted and lamenting, oh, I gave you all my power, or no, I'm powerless. That is cheating. There's nothing like that. It is cheating. They are cheating themselves. We talk about the first fool and the second fool. Two fools are there. Fool number one and fool number two. Fool number one is a foolish person who does not know anything. Fool number two is a bogus guru who does not know anything. He's a fool and he's cheating the first fool. So both of them are fools. Sukadev Goswami was not a fool. He became exhausted by speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj confessed after hearing from Sukadev Goswami. He said, Gurudev, you have made a miracle. You have made a miracle. What was the miracle? Parikshit Maharaj said, what I couldn't do for a moment, I'm doing it for 7 days. I was very thirsty and I couldn't control my thirst. I committed an offense by garlanding a seed with a dead snake. But I'm sitting here for 7 days, I'm not feeling thirsty. That is a power of association. I'm not feeling sleepy. I'm not feeling thirsty. I'm not hungry. Why? Why Parikshit Maharaj is not hungry? Because he's energized with Krishna Katamrit. He's taking Krishna Katamrit. Therefore, he's not exhausted. He's not exhausted. He's not tired. He is not hungry. He's not thirsty because he's being fed with the spiritual energy. Ardent hearing from the bona fide master is the only way to receive transcendental knowledge. And there is no need for medical performances or occult mysticism for miraculous effect. The process is simple, but only the sincere party can achieve the desired result. Bona fide hearer, bona fide hearing, and bona fide speakers, bona fide speaking. Example is a fish. Fish. There are 4. Bona fide hearers are 4. And inauspicious hearers are also 4. So we're looking at the Parikshit Maharaj Sukadeva Goswami, the bona fide hearers and speakers. So I will take only that one. Example of that is a fish, and represented here by Parikshit Maharaj. Bona fide. A fish at the bottom of the water, that fish is drinking. It's drinking at the bottom of the ocean. There is milk. The milk and the water that mix together. And the bona fide hearer, the fish is drinking only the milk and not taking the. He's drinking the milk and not blinking his eyes. Doesn't blink the eyes. Sukadeva Goswami was speaking without blinking, and Parishima also had it without blinking. But then he started. It was 7 days. 7 days. No drinking, no eating, no sleeping, no tiredness. 7 days together. That is the power. That is ardent hearing, ardent hearer, ardent speaker or ardent speaking. There's qualification for hearing and there's qualification for speaking. Both of things to be bona fide. Perfect example is here. Sukadeva Goswami Maharaj Parikshit. Another example they find in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami. Sanatana Goswami was hearing Atmarama verse from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya who explained it for 61 times. Chaitanya who spoke the same verse to Vaibhava Bhattacharya, but only 9. Only 9. Chaitanya who gave only 9 meanings. Only 9 meanings. But for Sanatana Goswami, he gave 61 meanings. So the same verse. What is the difference? What is the difference between Sarabhama Bhattacharya and Sanatana Goswami? What is the difference? Sanatana Goswami is ardent hearer. Ardent hearer. He's a premi bhakta. And Sarabhama Bhattacharya is a jnani. But Chaitanya transformed him, made him a premi bhakta. So 9 to 61, a great difference. A great difference. It's a great difference. The difference is the quality of the hearer. Maitreya Muni and Dhira. Perfect example. Arjuna and Krishna. Perfect example. The student was bona fide, the speaker was bona fide. Miracle. Miracle must take place. So we need a qualification to hear, the qualification to speak. The qualification to hear, Prabhupada said, is eagerness to hear. That's the qualification. Eagerness. The eagerness to hear. That's the qualification to be a bona fide hearer. The qualification is eagerness to hear. That eagerness to hear comes from the level of our purity, our piety. Look at Arjuna. Look at Sukadeva Goswami. And look at the problem before them. See, Arjuna was to fight Bhishmadev. He cannot fight with him. But I say, Maharaj, you die for 7 days. That's a serious issue. Right? It's a very serious issue. So they gave their attention fully to the solution. But we are thinking that, long life. I'm very young. Yes, I'm very young. 20. How many? 23. 22. Come on, what are you talking? Life is there. There's no eagerness to hear. Eagerness. After all, this thing is when you are old. When you gratify the senses first, and then you can do this thing. This is too early. It's too early. That is a Ravana philosophy. Why you want to waste your youth for austerity? For what? This beautiful, youthful body like this, want to waste it for austerity? Come on, give up this thing. Come and enjoy with me. If you don't enjoy, what's the purpose of this body? What is the purpose? Another Sakta was preaching to the Titan like that. Titan Bhagavad. Youthful, young Brahmana, so handsome like this. I bless you to have a strong power to enjoy sex. And now people are getting medicine, so you can. They're selling medicine. Yeah, people are doing that. What should be given is what the academics are sticking their head seriously into. What will lead people to death? That is what people are sticking their head for. What is leading people for liberation? No, don't want that. Misfortune. The time I always say Durdaiva. Misfortune. That is misfortune. So Sutta Goswami said, Emperor Yudhishthira administered generously to everyone during his reign. As a king, devotee. He was exactly like his father. He had no personal ambition and was freed from all sorts of sense gratification because of his continuous service unto the lotus feet of the Lord, Sri Krishna. Don't look at the adjective. See. Look at it. The Emperor Yudhishthira administered generously to everyone during his reign. Why? Why did he do like that? What made him to do that? First qualification is he is like his father. He is like his father. He was exactly like his father. The other day, someone was asking about Yudhishthira Maharaj and Yamaraj. There were questions. I didn't send it. Dhira Maharaj is Yamaraj. And Yudhishthira is the son of Dhira Maharaj. That is Yudhishthira. So it is said here, he is exactly like his father. Do you know that Yamaraj never commits sin? Do you know that? You know? Yamaraj never sins. He never commits sin. He's Dhira Maharaj. That's why he is Dhira Maharaj. And his son, in the material we say, well, thy son like the father. Huh? Yes. He's exactly like his father. He had no personal ambition, so-called qualification. What will make a leader important? What will make any leader, material or spiritual, important is what?
Personal ambition.
Personal ambition. Personal ambition. When one is ambitious, they are going to see everyone under you as their property. That is why you see so many Swamis, they fall down with their secretary, their disciples in his corner. Many Swamis, they married their female disciples. That's unfortunate. What is it behind that? All of you are my property. So come. Your property should be enjoyed by you. You know? Yeah, he said, come with my phone. I'm for you. Can you question me if I use my phone? Use my phone. Personal ambition is a big disease. It's a big disease. That makes any leader important. So in history, we saw all the perfect leaders, all the potent leaders, they were never ambitious. When one is ambitious, one will lean towards material gratification. It's a big contamination. The pure devotees are free from this. They're free. He had no personal ambition, and therefore he was free from all sorts of sense gratification. Because why? Why is he free? Why does he develop this quality? Because of his continuous what? Devotional service to Lord Krishna. And let it follow Sri Krishna. Continuous. That's it. Continue devotional service. When we went for, when we did a leadership training, leadership course, how many devotees have done leadership training in this course? Leadership training in this course, leadership course. How many of the students have done it? How many of the students have done it? Leadership course. I know Tam Prabhu have been teaching. I know Tam Prabhu and my friend Dhira. They disappeared from my head. And I say my friend. I forgot my friend's name. He said, yes, forgot it. Anyway, he's a Spanish BBT leader. So anyway, they are conducting a leadership course. They are teaching leaders. And also now there are many branches. And Tam Prabhu is a prophet. He is a guru of the gurus. He is training all gurus in this country. So one of the things we learned from there, one of the sciences, if you sit in a class like this, means I'm tired of what you're talking. Yes, I'm tired of what you're talking. Can you finish this thing so I can do something else? Okay, Hare Krishna. So, continuous service onto the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Of Lord Sri Krishna. Very important. Because that will keep us free from personal ambitions that will make one important in our leadership. And when we become important, our leadership becomes a center for corruption. We will be designing how to cheat. And all of our followers also will join the bandwagon. Everybody will join them. Because that is what is reigning. Hmm? Maharaj Yudhishthira knew this science of Krishna very well, for it is stated here that by continuous cultivation of this service, or by continuous devotional service to Lord Krishna, he acquired the qualification of administering the states. His motto of administration was all good for the citizens. Yudhishthira Maharaj's motto is what? All good for citizens. For as personified goodness, he knew perfectly well what is actually good for them. How many people know what is good for the citizens? None. Throughout the whole world, nobody knows what is good for the citizens. Look at our politicians. What did they promise us for us to vote for them? What do they promise? Free schools, free hospitals, good road, water, 24 hours electricity for Nigeria. Not for, yeah, for Nigeria. Because all in Nigeria don't have light. There's no place in the world that you don't see what is happening in Nigeria. Okay, 24 hours light, which they will never do. They want to get it again. Have anyone promised you, I will take care of your need. I will take care of your primary need, which is Christian consciousness? No, because nobody has it. They don't have it. But Maharaj Yudhishthira, he knows what is good for all citizens, that he will lead everyone in a God-conscious way. In a God-conscious way. Everybody should be something like him. So we have Raja Rishi. Today we don't have Raja Rishi. That is a problem. None of our leaders, they're not even Raja before you talk of Rishi. They are not even Rajas. They don't have qualification of a king. At least a king should have the human qualities. We look at today's world. Where is the human qualities? Where? There's no human qualities. Forget about being Rishi. We don't have any human qualities. Yudhishthira Maharaj had a quality. Yudhishthira Maharaj's motto of administration was all good for the citizens. For as personified goodness, he knew perfectly well what is actually good for them. He conducted the administration on that principle and not on the Rakshasi, demonic principle of sense gratification. As an ideal king, he had no personal ambition, and there was no place for sense gratification because all his senses are all times we engaged in the loving service of the Supreme Lord, which includes a partial service to the living beings who form the parts and parcels of the complete whole. Maharaj Yudhishthira, therefore, was constantly engaged in the service of the Lord, and thus the parts and parcels of the Lord, the living beings, under his careful administration, we are perfectly attended with all comfort in this life and all progress in the next. That is a way of perfect management of state administration. Just see. What do you think? News even reached the celestial planet about Maharaj Yudhishthira's worldly possessions, the sacrifices by which he will attain a better destination, his queen, his stalwart brothers, his extensive land, his sovereignty over the planet Earth, and his fame, etc. Parashit Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj, when they were ruling, even the forests, even the oceans, they were paying taxes to them. Out of joy. Out of joy. They're happy. They're happy. Yudhishthira Maharaj don't ask them, but they're paying. At least you can ask only the physical living entity, the human beings. But even the forest and the ocean were paying taxes to them. We're happy. And we're going to hear some of this saintly king, which Parashit Maharaj is compared to. Here in India, I've seen this in India. And people, big companies. You see how we should learn. So we can understand things. We should learn. I saw in India, big companies. In India, they will go to the colleges, engineering colleges, and look at they will look at the students' performances. They look at the student performances. When they see the student who are distinction, they will employ them before that student finishes school. As soon as he finishes school, automatic employment is waiting there. See, that is how they are making progress. They are getting the best. Why some people are going to hang around looking for employment? A brilliant student already got automatic employment. Similarly, in the higher planets, so some of the exalted personalities we see in the Bhagavatam that Parashit Maharaj was compared to, they have already all the demigods in different planets were already picking. When you finish the earthly planet, you come to my planet. You come to my planet. When you finish you come to my planet. They were already giving them the accommodation. Like in the fourth country you hear, Dhruva Maharaj, Dhruva Loka. Dhruva Loka is one of the Vaikuntha planets. So Krishna was keeping it, waiting for Dhruva Maharaj. Can you see the power of devotional service? All these things, we are messing it up. Just see. Dhruva Maharaj's planet, Dhruva Loka, is not part of the material, is Jiva Goswami, is one of the Vaikuntha planets. But Krishna didn't occupy that place. Krishna didn't send anybody there. He kept it for Dhruva Maharaj. When you finish, come and take your key. Come and take your key and go to your flat. That is what devotional service does. It's Krishna consciousness. This thing we are doing, see the level, very high. You don't want that. We should understand. At least we should know. We should know what we are doing. We should know. If you don't do it, it's okay. But our duty is to expose everything as much as possible, according to our limited level. So that people who are fortunate will know, or in the future, some people will get to know it. So people are waiting for, when you finish your chatting, you come to my planet. You come to my planet. You come to my planet. Don't go to them. You come to my planet. This is the key for your flat. Not one room. Yeah. And that is his key. Not that when you finish practicing Bhakti here, you go to buy contact and say everywhere is occupied. You have to wait, so let us finish building your house. You have to go and wait. There's nothing like you're going to wait. Everything is already there. Even in the Bible, Jesus told us what? My Father's kingdom, what is it? Many unlimited mansions are there. Many unlimited. So, one is waiting there. Don't waste that time here. Don't waste your time here. Go and take your planet. Take your local. I said, go and take your planet. Don't stay here. What is here? Huh? This is Yudhishthira Maharaj. Look at his position. And he has all these symbols. He doesn't have any attachment to it. He does not see that Bhakti Thakura taught us in his own life also. My wife, my children, my education, my palaces, my opulence, everything. Krishna is here. I'm just a caretaker. It's yours. This is yours. You take. This is yours. I'm just caretaking. I'm not a proprietor. But everybody here is trying to squeeze our head for nothing. Nothing. Just suffering. Only suffering. So suffering, we are suffering to get more suffering. Huh? What is this? Useless. One must qualify himself to enter into such happy planet by sacrifice and service. Sacrifice and service. We just mentioned to you, right? Before you have a Guru Purnima festival that people are enjoying wonderful prasada, nobody cooked it? Nobody cooked it? Did you participate in that, in the cooking? Huh? No. So is that festival for you? You have cheated yourself. You didn't participate in the cooking, you didn't participate in the decoration, you didn't participate in the lecture. There's nothing, only to come and eat. Cheating. Nobody but ourselves. The Prophet said here, one must qualify himself to enter into such happy planet by sacrifice and service. So you get the key. What is the sacrifice to get the key? Service and sacrifice. That is a qualification to get the key to go to the local. Those who are sinful in every step of life can expect only to be degraded into animal life, to suffer more and more the pangs of material existence. And this is also stated in Bhagavad Gita 16:19. Maharaj Yudhishthira's good sacrifices and qualifications were so lofty and virtuous that even the residents of the higher celestial planet were already prepared to receive him as one of them. As who would not like to employ? Who would not like to employ? In the material way we are looking for employment, they say we need a driver with a 50 years experience. Is it not? Yes. Need a driver with 50 years experience. You see? Sacrifice and service. Please let us hear this and see where our problems are coming from. We have no service attitude, and we don't want to make sacrifice. That is why we are always complaining. Stop complaining and engage in service and sacrifice. They will be waiting for us, like Maharaj Yudhishthira. They will be waiting. I repeat, Maharaj Yudhishthira's good sacrifices and qualifications were so lofty and virtuous that even the residents of the higher celestial planet were already prepared to receive him as one of them. O Brahmanas, the opulence of the king was so enchanting that the denizens of heaven aspired for it. But because he was absorbed in the service of the Lord, nothing could satisfy him except the Lord's service. Nothing could satisfy a devotee except Lord's service. In the third canto, In the third country, you will see, you will hear. Kapil Muni is glorifying his devotees. My devotees never ask me for anything. Even if I force them to take something, they will say, no, I don't want. What do you want? Service. Service. Opposite people. What do you want? Money. Thank you. Very sincere. Thank you. What do you want? Money. Money. No, say money. I don't want service. I don't want sacrifice. Give me money. You see our problems? You see, Hadi, ask Prahlad Maharaj, here in seventh country, Prahlad, take boon for me. Ask me for many boons. Ask me, many. I'm going to give you. Prahlad Maharaj said, I don't want. He said, I don't want, I don't want, I don't want. Why did he say it 3 times? I don't want for now. I don't also want for my future birth. I don't want. Not that I don't want for this. So I'll get next time. But see, Prahlad Maharaj said, I don't want, I don't want, I don't want. I don't want for now. And my future birth, I don't also want. So don't ask me about it. Yes. Nothing could satisfy a devotee except the Lord's service. Nothing can enter into a devotee's ear except the topics about Krishna. Nothing can attract the devotee's attention except Krishna. It's a devotee. Mahara Yudhishthira was one of the liberated souls. And therefore for him, there was no pleasure in a vast kingdom, good wife, obedient brothers, happy subjects, and prosperous world. These blessings automatically follow a pure devotee, even though the devotees do not aspire for them. Example said here is exactly suitable. It is said that one who is hungry is never satisfied by anything other than food. The whole material world is full of hungry living beings. The hunger is not for food, for good food, shelter, or sanctification. The hunger is for the spiritual atmosphere. Due to ignorance only, they think that the world is dissatisfied because there is not sufficient food, shelter, defense, and object of sanctification. That is for misfortune. This hunger is actually for spiritual food, spiritual shelter, spiritual defense, and spiritual sanctification. This can be obtained in association of the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, the Supreme Spirit of Sri Krishna. And therefore, one who has them cannot be attracted by the so-called food, shelter, defense, and sanctification of the material world, even if they are relished by the denizens of the heavenly planet. Why is Prahlad Maharaj is telling on the thing I don't want, I don't want, I don't want? Because it is stale for him. It is stale. Eh? If somebody give you sweet rice, how do you feel? Sweet rice. Yesterday, we narrated, okay, not today, for here. We narrated Jagannath Mishra told Sachimata, his wife, cook sweet rice mixed with ghee. Oh, that's it. Okay. For our Salagam Sila, who would not like to taste that? Eh? We like it because it's really sure. Okay, if somebody is showing you a stool, eh? You see, everybody don't want, right? We don't want that. That is how much our sanctification, what we are struggling for here, that is how they look at it. Our delicacy is here. Eh? Then we go, we are looking at it. What is this? How can somebody eat this? But we are thinking like pig. I'm enjoying. The general person. What is this? Like a devotee, Judicial Maharaj is looking at, what is all this? All these things are just trap. They are just trap. They are nothing but a trap for one pure devotee said. One pure devotee said that I forgot exactly what it was. I just wrote it down now, because I have not tweeted it. He said that very beautiful way he put it. For a non-devotee, sense gratification is a shackle. Yeah, I remember. Sense gratification is shackle. Understand shackle?
Yes.
He said, for a non-devotee, our opulence is a prison. It's a prison house. Devotees, they have very sharp mouth. Very sharp mouth. Oh, what do you consider delicacy? All these opulences here. See, that is a prison house. Yes, now remember the last one. Our material desires are thieves. Yeah, got it. I don't know. Material desires are thieves. Opulences are prison house. And
Shackles.
I said three things. Material desires are what? Thieves. Our opulences or
Prison.
mansion is a prison house. And now the last one, what did I say? I just mentioned it. Which is
affectionate dealings with family members are foot shackles.
yes, shackles. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes. So put it down so you don't forget. Thank you for doing ardent hearer. Yes, ardent hearer. So you got it. So this is this material. Therefore, pure devotees, you describe this as prison, shackles, and the thieves, rogues. No, I don't want all this. But they use them as Krishna paraphernalia in his service. That's all they do. Osono Brigo Sonaka. When the child Parishit, the great fighter, was in the womb of his mother, Uttara, and was suffering from the burning heat of the Brahmastra thrown by Ashwatthama, he could observe the Supreme Lord coming to him, right in the womb. Parishit is so fortunate, right in the womb there, this devotional service begins. And Prabhupada compare him also to Prahlad Maharaj. He begins his devotion from the womb. He was in the womb when the Ramuni recited the whole Bhagavatam. He had the whole Bhagavatam. All the training of his life were all given to him in the womb. Maharaj Parishit, while in the womb of his mother, was struck by the Brahmastra released by Ashwatthama, and he was feeling the burning heat. But because he was a devotee of the Lord at once appeared himself within the womb by his all-powerful energy, and a child could see that someone else had come to save him. In that helpless condition, the child Parikshit endured the unbearable temperature due to his being a great fighter by nature. And for this reason, the word Dhira has been used. Now it's about Parikshit Maharaj. He, the Lord, was only tomb high, the tomb, at the size. But he was all transcendental. He had a very beautiful, blackish, infallible body. And he wore a dress of lightning yellow and a helmet of blazing gold. Thus he was seen by the child. Just see. You are seeing. This is a tomb. How does it look? This size of a tomb, this size, the person is wearing helmet. Can you imagine? One day I saw in Jagannath Puri, a lady, old lady, for this height. Yes, this height. My first time I saw. Now, by what time focus this? I already saw in Jagannath Puri, a lady this size. At the size of this sand. This size. It's an old lady, not a baby. Old lady. I forgot, I didn't take picture, I forgot. I will show you. It was this size, it's old lady. And very, very small, also very small, tiny. So I can imagine how Krishna was this tall. So the lady was bigger than the size of Krishna in the room. But here, fully decorated with helmet, glittering helmet, blazing like gold. She was seen by the child. Krishna has shot this baby, but the baby is coming here to save him, to come and protect him. The Lord was enriched with the 4 hands. It's amazing. Earrings of molten gold, and eyes blood red with fury. As he loitered about, his club constantly encircling him like a shooting star. In the Bhagavad Gita 91, the Lord assured everyone that his devotees are never to be vanquished. No one can kill a devotee of the Lord because he is protected by the Lord. And no one can save a person whom the Lord desires to kill. The Lord is all powerful, and therefore he can both save and kill as he likes. He became visible to his devotee Maharaj Parikshit, even in that upward position in the womb of his mother, in a shape just suitable for his vision. A shape which is suitable for his vision. The Lord was thus engaged in vanquishing the radiation of the Brahmastra, just as the sun evaporates a drop of dew. He was observed by the child, who thought about who he was. While thus being observed by the child, the Supreme Lord, Personality of Godhead, the super soul of everyone, and the protector of the righteous, who stretches in all directions, and who is unlimited by time and space, disappeared at once. After the Supreme Lord used his Sudarshan chakra to neutralize the effect of the Brahmastra, he showed himself that Parikshit Maharaj could see. He could see the person who is protecting him, who is coming here. And that is how he got his name. Because when he came out from the womb, the people all gathered. So they were looking, where is that person who came to protect me? Parikshit. We were observing everyone carefully. Who is the one that entered the womb of my mother to protect him? So he got his name Parikshit. Yes. As soon as the Lord did that, although the Lord he entered there, The Lord is always there. He's already there. The Lord is always there, super soul. So where will he come from? He's always already there. So for him to appear before Parashit Maharaj in that way, it was a natural thing for him to do. And after he's showing his power, although he's described here to be the size of a tomb, he is unlimited. Krishna is unlimited and infallible. It's unlimited by time and space. Means what? By time and space. Time. Time cannot check Krishna and space cannot check. Krishna showed himself as the universe. That means what? He covered the whole space and beyond. So he's not limited by space or time. That is Krishna's position. A common man cannot do this, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead can easily do this because he has the power to do that. Anyone who is a surrendered soul unto the Supreme is righteous, and he is specifically protected by the child in all circumstances. The Lord is the indirect protector of the unrighteous also, for he rectifies their sins through his external potency. The Lord protects the devotees. He also indirectly protects the non-devotees by also giving us a chance to become a devotee. That's very nice. Thereupon, when all the good signs of the zodiac gradually evolved, the heir aspirant of Pandu, who will be exactly like him in prowess, took birth. Parashit Maharaj ki. Like yesterday, we celebrating Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki. When auspicious personality appeared, everybody will be happy. In the fourth canto, eighth canto, and Jai Vijaya appeared. Everybody was in anxiety. Everybody. The rain was falling, but it is blood, not rain. Jakal was yes. They were laughing as anyone passing. Have you heard Jakal voice before? Very, very terrible. Very, very terrible. Very terrible. If you go to my pool, you see jackals, and you can also hear. Early morning, they will be making a lot of noise. Very, very terrible jackals. So it's inauspicious anyway. But when the pure devotee appeared, everything was auspicious. Everything. Time who appeared, everybody was happy. Everybody. There was joy. There was joy present at everybody's face. Everybody. And everybody was enjoying touching it. That the body sensation was so sweet. It was really enjoyment. Parashit appeared at one auspicious time. Therefore, everything was perfectly organized. Perfectly. The samskaras of the school of Sanatana Dharma, man's eternal engagement, are highly suitable for creating an atmosphere for taking advantage of good shelter influences, for good stellar influences, and therefore Vaibhava samskara, or the first seedling purificatory process prescribed for the higher caste, is a beginning of all pious acts to receive a good, pious, and intelligent class of men in human society. Did you hear? Did you hear? Huh? Did you hear? No governance samskara, your child is not a human being. Yes. 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 It's not me who said that. State canto, but one day best I'll give you. We don't want successes and successes. We want devotees. We want devotees. And forget the devotees. Forget the devotees. Vaibhava samskara is compulsory. It's not expensive. Therefore, we need qualified astrologers. We need qualified astrologers, proper say we need. In our community, we need. This is Varanasi, importance of Varanasi. All these facilities are there, and people take advantage to create good population. It brings peace and brings prosperity. It is for the good of everyone. And we have the responsibility to do that. The politicians are not going to do it. The scientists are not going to do it. The philosophers are not going to do it. Only devotees can do it. I will repeat it. The sanskaras of the school of Sanatana Dharma, man's eternal engagement, are highly suitable for creating an atmosphere for taking advantage of good stellar influences. And therefore, Garbhadam Samskara, or the first seedling purificatory process prescribed for the higher caste, is the beginning of all pious acts. To receive a good, pious, and intelligent class of men in human society, there will be peace and prosperity in the world due to good and sane population only. There is hell and disturbance only because of the unwanted, insane population addicted to sex indulgence. Sex indulgence means illicit sex. Illicit sex means unauthorized sex. Is it clear? No one should say, I don't know. No one should say? Nobody should say. No one should say that. You have been told, do the right thing. Sutta Goswami, he has already mentioned in this canto, in the second chapter in this canto. Sutta Goswami already mentioned. Everyone here has occupational duty according to our karma and gunas that governs us. Everyone has that occupation prescribed to us by the scripture. Sutta Goswami said, still, no one should do it if by doing it, our devotion to Krishna will not be aroused. We should not do it. The reason why we should do anything at all is what? To provoke our attraction for Krishna, to provoke our Krishna consciousness. That is the only reason. Otherwise, don't do it. Proper continue. King Yudhishthira, who was very satisfied with the birth of Maharaj Parikshit, had the purificatory process of birth performed. Learned Brahmanas headed by Domya and Kripa Acharya recited auspicious hymns. After the Gavardhan purificatory process, there are certain other samskaras like Simanto, Nayana, Sada, Bhakshana, etc. during the period of pregnancy. And when the child is born, the first purificatory process is Jata, karma. This was performed duly by Maharaj Yudhishthira with the help of good and learned Brahmanas like Domya, the royal priest, and Kripa Acharya, who was not only a priest but also a great general. Yes. When the Pandavas were sent to the forest after being defeated in the gambling game with Dhira, the Dhritarashtra entrusted the Pandavas to Kripacharya for guidance. After the end of the battle, Kripacharya again became a member of the royal assembly, and he was called during the birth of Maharaj Parikshit for recitation of auspicious Vedic hymns to make the ceremony successful. Maharaj Yudhishthira, while equipping the palace for his great departure to the Himalayas, entrusted the Kripacharya with Maharaj Parikshit as his disciple, and he left home satisfied because of Kripacharya's taking charge of Maharaj Parikshit. The same thing Krishna did for him, the same thing he's doing for Parikshit Maharaj. Krishna and Bhismadev enthroned him, guided him. Bhismadev trained him how to lead. Then when he took the throne, Krishna Christians stayed there with him to be sure that everything is nicely arranged and he is perfectly following that. The same thing he had passed it on to Parikshit Maharaj, Parampara, and this is succession. Succession. The other day we mentioned that any leader who is not preparing for succession is Ashura. The great administrators, kings, and emperors were always under the guidance of the learned Brahmanas, like Kripacharya and others. We are able to, and those were able to act properly in discharge of political responsibilities. Upon the birth of his son, the king, who knew how, where, and when charity should be given, gave gold, land, villages, elephants, horses, and good food grains to the Brahmanas. Charity. Parikshit Maharaj, Yudhishthira Maharaj know how to give charity. When, where, how charity should be given. He gave charity. Who should receive charity? When charity should be given? How charity should be given? Should know. Should know. That means that you can also give charity in a mode of ignorance, in a mode of passion. Or you can give a charity which will implicate you. Dhira. You give charity which implicated you. Don't give charity in the way that the person you give charity is not happy with. Don't give someone charity and in such a way that the person is not happy with. Yes. Charity should be given properly. When it's charity, should be given properly, not just anyhow. You give charity anyhow, it's implicated. The learned Brahmanas who were very satisfied with the charities of the king addressed him as the chief among the Purus and informed him that his son was certainly in the line of descendants from the Purus. Means what? That Parikshit Maharaj is perfect. Yes, he will not deviate from his predecessors. He will not deviate. He's perfect. He's perfect. He's going to do exactly like you do. So don't be afraid. Every responsible person should do that. That you are a king, not how perfectly you have ruled, but how you have trained other people to take over what you have established. The child Parikshit was saved by the all-powerful and all-pervasive Vishnu, Lord Krishna, for two reasons. The first reason is that the child in the womb of his mother was spotless due to his being a pure devotee of the Lord. The second reason is that the child was the only surviving male descendant of Puru, a pious forefather of the virtuous King Yudhishthira. That is why rulers are coming from the same place. It's not a discrimination. Are you qualified to rule? Will you really rule? Will you properly represent us, or you are going to be a disgrace? And the people were perfect. Everything was perfectly arranged. So all the Kshatriyas are ruled, and all the pious Kshatriyas, because they have the interest of the citizens in their mind. They was the rule. Why a person who does not have their good interest in his heart rule you? You are in danger, you're in trouble. That's what is happening. All our people, they don't know anything. They don't know anything. And they are the one ruling. Child Parikshit is described here as spotlessly white because he is an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. Such unalloyed devotees of the Lord appear on the earth just to execute the mission of the Lord. You see? Such transcendental literatures, the missionaries, are representative to the Lord are spotlessly white because the contamination of the material qualities cannot even touch them. They are always protected by the Lord when they are threatened with annihilation. Such foolish traits are made by the gross materialists. The Brahmastra, which was thrown by Ashwatthama at the child Parikshit, was certainly supernaturally powerful, and nothing of the material world could resist its force of penetration. But the all-powerful Lord, who is present everywhere, within and without, could counteract it by his all-powerful potency, just to save a bona fide servant of the Lord and descendant of another devotee, Maharajidhistira, who was always obliged by the Lord by his costless mercy. Yes. For this reason, this child will be well known in the world as one who is protected by the personality of Godhead. O most fortunate one, there is no doubt that this child will become a first-class devotee and will be qualified with all good qualities. All good qualities. In other words, Mahabharati is Mahabhagavat. He's a Mahabhagavat. We have Kanishta, we have Madhyam, and we have Uttam Bhakta. Mahabhagavat. The family in which a Mahabhagavat takes his birth is fortunate because due to the birth of a first-grade devotee, the members of the family, past, present, and future, up to 100 generations, become liberated by the grace of the Lord, out of respect for his beloved devotee. Therefore, the highest benefit is done to one's family simply by becoming an unalloyed devotee of the Lord. We should become One day, His Holiness Bhattacharya Maharaj was crying. He was crying on the asana. He did that many times here. But this one he did in the US. So the devotee was asking him, Guru Maharaj, why are you crying? He said, because I'm seeing, look at their faces. Some of us here are thinking of giving up Krishna consciousness. That is giving me pain because you are so wicked, you are so hard-hearted. You don't want to deliver your family member who are suffering in hell. You don't want to deliver them. So that is giving me pain. How a devotee can be so hard-hearted? A devotee is soft-hearted. So we don't know what it means to be a devotee. We should know what it means to be a devotee. We should know. The sages continued. The good king Yudhishthira inquired, O great souls, will he become as saintly a king as pious in his very name and as famous and glorious in his achievements as others who appeared in this great royal family? It's a good question. Huh? Like yesterday, when Chitamo appeared, Nimai Pandit, Nimai, when he appeared, Jagannath Mishra brought gold. Gold. Clothes. High quality clothes. And what? Nice items. Place them there on the table and put the Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita there. Place. Nimai, take anyone you like. Just freely, as you like. Take anyone. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through all that thing, heap of money, heap. How much you want? This size? Huge was there, huge. And they were all before the Bhagavatam. You see? Jagannath Mishra arranged everything well before the Bhagavatam was last. Just like I can put that before my Bhagavatam. So it was last. So Did he look at them? He didn't look at all the things that were there on the table. He went straight to Bhagavatam and took that Bhagavatam in and raised Bhagavatam to his chest. Everybody shouted, Jai! Jai! Yes, yes. He is the lover of Bhagavatam. How many of us are lovers of Bhagavatam? He's a lover of Bhagavatam. Sometimes here you see devotees are hearing Mahabharata. You feel ecstatic, right? Have you experienced that? Yes. When you hear Mahabharata, see people are fighting. You feel, hey, it's standing on end, right? Have you experienced it? Have you experienced Bhagavatam like that? Have you experienced Bhagavatam like that? No, that's the difference. Yeah, Sudras. Mahabharata was Sudras. You see, our scripture is so nice. Anybody can know. Don't think about Bhagavatam, you will know where you are. You don't need astrologer. You are perfect astrologer yourself. Look at our Bhagavatam. This is our mirror. This is our mirror. You can see where that we are. Isn't it? Isn't it? What do you think? When you can feel happy, joyful, Bhagavatam, and you're not looking at watch, when will he finish this thing? Let me go. It's taking so long like this. When are you going to finish this? If I know this is going to take long like that, I would have attended that class. I thought he's going to be taking me now. He's taking up there. You can eat. You can go and eat. So what you want to know? Am I making an advancement? This is it. You are tasting Bhagavatam. We show where you are in the Krishna consciousness. What is our taste in Bhagavatam? Are you hearing Bhagavatam and forgetting everything? Oh, okay. So Yudhishthira is asking, and the Brahmanas are taking. The learned Brahmana said, "Oh, son of Pritha, this child, Parashit Maharaj, shall be exactly like King Ishwaku, son of Manu, in maintaining all those who are born. And as for following the Brahminical principles, especially in being true to his promise, he shall be exactly like Ram, Ramchandra Bhagwan, the personality of Godhead, the son of Maharaj Dasara." See, Parashit Maharaj is compared to King Ishwaku and Ramchandra. Yes. These saintly kings give protection to all the prajas or living beings to live and to fulfill their terms of imprisonment. Everyone has allotted time by nature. Everyone. And a king's duty is to make sure we are protected to fulfill that, our sanctification. So we learn and become rectified and take to Krishna consciousness. So termination of anyone's existence is very, very dangerous. And it's an interference in nature's arrangements. It should not be done. So we can hear the Maharaj Ishwaku. Maharaj Ishwaku, one of the sons of Vaibhava. He had 100 sons. He prohibited meat eating. His sons, Sasada, became the next king after him. See? Ramchandra, the supreme personality of God, incarnated himself as Sri Ram, accepting the sonhood of his pure devotee, Maharaj Dasarath, the king of Ayodhya. And he ruled. He ruled the kingdom. The other day, somebody asked me, I think it's Rasasunda who asked me, how did Ramchandra left? I told him the answer. He enters River Surayu. River Surayu. It's an Ayodhya. From there, you take a bath, enter the water, and you go. That's how he left. The same with Napalana. Napalana also left. Enters inside the Basa Tita River, the ocean. From there, it just disappeared. a silver snake, which is his expansion. Who came and took him into the water from planet. So this child will be a munificent donor of charity and protector of the surrounders, like the famous King Sibi of the Usinara country. And he will expand the name and fame of his family like Bharat, the son of Maharaj Dushyanta. We have 3 Bharats. We have 3 Bharat. Maharaj Bharat is one. Bharat. And Dushanti Bharat. There are many Bharatas in history, of which Bharat, the brother of Ramachandra, is one. Bharat, the son of King Sabhadev, and Bharat, the son of Maharaj Dushyanta, are very, very famous. So we have 3 present power. 3 Bharat. But the sages continue. Amongst great bowmen, this child will be as good as Arjuna, his grandfather. He will be as irresistible as fire and as unsurpassable as the ocean. The 2 Arjunas. So there are 3 Arjunas. How many? 3. Prabhupada mentioned 2 here. There's another one. He Prabhupada mentioned 2. 2 Arjunas, Karta Dhira Arjun and Pandu Arjun. Pandu Arjun. There are 2. The 3rd one is the cowhead boy in Goloka. One of the cowhead boys in Goloka. Very dear friend of Krishna. Krishna has Suhrit, Priya, Narama, Saka. 3 groups of friends. 3 groups of friends. Each child will be as strong as a lion and as worthy a shelter as the Himalaya mountains. He will be forbearing like the earth and as tolerant as his parents. Each child will be like his grandfather Yudhishthira or Brahma in equanimity of mind. This is very, very important. Here they are referring Parishit to his grandfather Yudhishthira and Brahma for what? Equanimity of their mind. Despite all difficult challenges, their mind still remains peaceful. That is the strength of their Bhakti. He will be munificent like the Lord of the Kailas hill. That's Lord Shiva. The Shiva is very, very merciful, very, very kind. And he will be the resort of everyone, like the Supreme Personality of God, Narayan, who is even the shelter of the goddess of fortune. Here, Prabhupada gave a very nice, which I would like to say, because I can see this very, very prominent. Very prominent. First of all, mental equanimity refers to both Maharaj Yudhishthira and to Lord Brahma, the grandfather of all living beings. According to Sridhara Swami, the grandfather referred to is Brahma. But according to Vishwanath Chakravarti, the grandfather is Maharaj Yudhishthira himself. Any contradiction? Any contradiction? No. No contradiction, because both of them have the same qualities. Right? Both of them have the same qualities. But in both cases, the comparison is equally good because both of them are recognized representatives of the Supreme Lord. And thus, both of them have to maintain mental equilibrium, being engaged in welfare work for the living being. Very important, I always should listen. So you can learn something. Any responsible executive agent at the top of administration has to tolerate different types of onslaught from the very persons for whom he works. Understand? Brahmaji was criticized even by the gopis, the highest professional devotees of the Lord. The gopis were satisfied, dissatisfied with the work of Brahmaji, because Lord Brahma, as creator of the particular universe, of this particular universe, created eyelid, which obstructed their seeing of Krishna. See? The gopis don't want to blink their eyes. They can see Krishna eternally like this. Yeah? But because this useless Brahma, he doesn't know how to create. But Lord Brahma did his part. Eh? He did his part. So similarly, we have seen that people are so ungrateful, especially those who are trying to help people. That the worst people. That the worst people for many people. That the worst people for the many worst people, for many people, because people criticize them the most. Understand? No? People who like to help other people, try to encourage people and push people, many people will blaspheme them. They are easily blasphemed. Easily. Similarly, Maharaj Yudhishthira had to cross over many difficult situations created by his enemies. And he proved to be the most perfect maintainer of mental equilibrium in all critical circumstances. Therefore, the example of both grandfathers for maintaining equanimity of mind is quite fitting. And then we see Lord Shiva also what he gave blessings. So somebody is give me blessings, I will kill any person I touch his head. And Shiva gave his, I want to touch her. Let me test it now. Let me test it and see. So this is what we get. This is what we get. If you're a good, kind-hearted person who want to help people, the whole world will be criticizing you. Only a few people will appreciate you. That's how ungrateful the world is. This child will be, the Brahman has continued. This child will be almost as good as Lord Sri Krishna by following in his footsteps. In magnanimity, he will become as great as King Ranti Dev. And in religion, he will be like Maharaja Yati. Ranti Dev Maharaj. An ancient king prior to the Mahabharata period, referred to by Narada Muni while instructing Sanjaya, as mentioned in Mahabharata Drona Parva 67. He was a great king, liberal for hospitality and distribution of foodstuff. Even Lord Sri Krishna praised his act of charity and hospitality. He was blessed by the great Vasishtha Muni for supplying him cold water, and thus he achieved the heavenly planet. He used to supply fruit, roots, and leaves to the rishis, and thus he was blessed by them with fulfillment of his desires. Although a Kshatriya by birth, he never ate flesh in his life. He was especially hospitable to Vasishtha Muni, and by his blessings only, he attained the higher planetary residence. He was one of those pious kings whose names are mentioned in the morning and evening. Yes, that is today. Very, very very important and powerful personality. Today. We continue. This child will be like Bali Maharaj in patience, a staunch devotee of Lord Krishna like Prahlad Maharaj, a performer of many Ashwamedha horse sacrifices, and a follower of the old and experienced men. Prahlad Maharaj. We already mentioned Prahlad Maharaj. He's a perfect devotee of Lord Krishna, Vishnu. His father, Hiranyakasipu, chastised him severely when he was only 5 years old for his becoming an unalloyed devotee of God. That was his offense. Prahlad Maharaj was an authority in the devotional service of the Lord because he had his father killed by Lord Nrsimhadev, setting the example that even a father should be removed from the path of devotional service if such a father happens to be an obstacle. Hare Krishna. Does it make sense? Huh? Anything is an obstacle, even if one's father, one's mother, one's child, one's brother, sister, anything which is an obstacle of Bhakti should be removed. This child will be like the father of kings, who will be like sages. For worldly peace and for the sake of religion, he will be the chastiser of the upstart and the quarrelsome. Yes, he does not tolerate nonsense. Parasima doesn't allow gambling, slaughterhouses, and illicit sex, and meat eating in his kingdom. Chastise as the duty of a king. And Prabhupada said, the wisest man in the world is a devotee of the Lord. Yes, the sages are called wise men. And there are different types of wise men for different branches of knowledge. Unless, therefore, the king or the head of the state is the wisest man, he cannot control others of wise men in the states. How will you do when you don't have the quality? These Maharaj Parish's qualities. After inquiring about the proper self-knowledge from the son of Vyasadeva, who will be a great philosopher, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. See, Parashit Maharaj already, I've told you before, would have told him already that he's going to die untimely. Here, the sage also mentioned the same thing, that after inquiring about proper self-knowledge from the son of Vyasadeva, who is that? Sukadeva Goswami, who will be a great philosopher, he will renounce all material attachment and achieve a life of fearlessness. Is that wrong? Why is it not fear? It attained fearlessness. So at the end of Sukadeva Goswami's teachings to him, he said, my dear Guru, a miracle you have performed. I said first part, and I'm going to say the second part. The miracle you have performed is that I've been sitting here for 7 days. I'm not feeling thirsty. I'm not hungry. I'm not sleepy. I'm satisfied. And also, you have destroyed the fear of death in my mind. Therefore, the magical creation of the Brahmana boy, let it come now. I don't care. Because now you have planted the spirit of Krishna in my heart.
You know, when Tasaka bed was coming, Kasapamori wanted to stop it, but Parishit said, no, leave it. Let it go.
This fearfulness is called anxiety. Everyone in the material life, in all species and varieties of life, is full of anxieties, either by breaking or without breaking the laws of nature. This is possible. Liberation or mukti means getting relief from these constant anxieties. How do you get it? This is possible only when the anxiety is changed to the devotional service of the Lord. Hare Krishna. That's the only way we can solve it. Those who were experts in astrological knowledge and in performance of the best ceremony instructed King Yudhishthira about the future history of this child. Then, being sumptuously remunerated, they all returned to their respective homes. They all went back to their respective homes. The sages were remunerated. If you call a sadhu to a house, you must treat him very nicely. You must treat him very nicely. You should not allow him to live with anger or dissatisfaction. Prabhupada said, among the Karma Kanda experts, the Jataka expert Vipras were good astrologers who could tell all the future history of a born child simply by the astral calculations of the time, Lagna. Ilambara Chakravarti did for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Gargamuni did for Krishna Balaram. Who did for us? Hare Krishna. But now it should be done. Now it should be done. Listen properly, second, not me. Properly saying. Such expert Chataka Vipras were present during the birth of Maharaj Parikshit and his grandfather, Maharaj Yudhishthira, awarded the Vipras sufficiently with gold, land, villages, grains, and other valuable necessities of life, which also include cows. There is a need of such Vipras in the social structure. How do you call that technically? Social structure. How do you call it technically? Varnashram Dharma. There is a need. Prabhupada said what? There is a need of Vipras, such Vipras in the social structure. And it is the duty of the state to maintain them comfortably as designed in a Vedic procedure. Such expert Vipras, being sufficiently paid by the state, could give free service to the people in general. And thus, this department of Vedic knowledge could be available for all. Available for all. You can go to. I still have 13 minutes. So his son will become famous in the world as Parikshit examiner, because he will come to examine all human beings in his search after that personality whom he saw before his birth. Thus he will come to constantly contemplate him. Right from the beginnings, Sajiva Goswami remarks in this connection that every child is given an impression of the Lord from his very childhood. See here? Every child should be given of Krishna consciousness right from his childhood. I remember a few years ago, I in West Africa here, I tried to stop all our mothers giving our children biscuit on a Ekadasi day. Yes, Shalika Prabhu. I'm seeing your hand now.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a question in respect to these last two verses we're reading regarding the Garbha Samskara and the qualified Brahmanas, astrologers. According to time, place, and circumstances, Varnashram Dharma is undoubtedly very important and necessary to have a normal society as stated by scriptures.
Yes.
But at the same time, several places, even in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd canto, I think in 7th canto so far I've read, the Prabhupada emphasized Pancharatrika Vidhi process for those who have taken to the path of Bhakti. In stating it as above Varnashram Dharma. And I think that is in relation to the discussions between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Ramananda Rai. So my question is that in our present time, hardly are there qualified brahmanas to recite the mantras, to do the process. Second is there are few or almost no astrologers. Based on that, Prabhupada recommended this Pancharatrika Vidhi process. So I wanted to comment on that.
No, Pancharatrika Vidhi does not nullify Varnashram. It is part of Varnashram. To Garbhadan Samskara is not difficult, very, very easy. Not difficult, very, very simple. One, to recite the Bhagavatam. It's our book. Two, to do Abhishekam for your deity. Is it difficult? Huh? Three, call devotees to come to the house to recite Bhagavatam and you give them prasadam according to your means. According to the means, even if you make a few items, make them very nice, not just put the plenty and make it palatable and prepare and the oil and so. Just make something very quality, simple. If the prasadam is a handful but very quality, nobody will be angry with you. Eh? Nobody will be angry with you. And then the 50th day after the period of your wife, is it difficult? You will need an astrologer to tell your wife the 5th day after her period. You need an astrologer for that.
No.
But we are telling this, we are telling now, this is a process. The 5th day, the 5th day, after that period, the 5th day, she has to bathe nicely. She should bathe nicely. After the period finishes, she should bathe nicely, extra, not just the common one you're doing, but extra bathing and dress very nicely for those 5 days. She should put earrings, she should put not gold, but nice jewels, not gold, not diamond, but nice, nice neat clothes. Their sarees should not be dirty, with neat one. So neat, nice, attractive. Is it difficult to do that? And it's not be angry. Both of you should not be angry before that 50th day. One of you should be angry. You should always be preparing. You should be praying together. And on that day, both of you should chant 50 rounds. Difficult? Materially speaking, how do we prepare for our material exams? For serious students, how do you prepare? For students, those days I remember, those days, we have a sleepless night. We have to put our water in the soak our feet on the water, right? So we can remain awake and read, draw, cram everything just to pass the exam. We are doing that materially, but we cannot do it spiritually. So these are the process. I just offload everything. This is it. This is samskara. And as I mentioned before, it is a proper Bhagavatam. In proper, he said, who mentioned that children born in Kali Yuga are not human beings because they don't follow governance samskara. The third canto. And I said, if you want the verse, I'll give you. This is samskara, Prabhu. Is it difficult?
Yes. Thank you very much. The explanation clarifies what I wanted to hear.
And then we have Banu Maharaj. This is called Guru. He's not initiated. He's an astrologer, powerful astrologer. And everybody can consult him. They ask him for compatibility. He doing it for devotees, many devotees. We want compatibility thing. We're also doing compatibility, not difficult. So everything is available. We just have to have the desire to make the approach. We'll get it. So, but the Bhagavad does not nullify following the samskara. After all, the purport is from is Bhagavatam purport. Papa is explaining. All this thing I'm telling you is given by our Acharya. It's in the Bhagavatam. Everything I showed to you now, all the things I said is in the Bhagavatam here. And Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he has a Vaishnava Samskara book. And our devotees are studying that very nice. And they're using it for fire sacrifice, for different things, for marriages, for weddings, for name giving ceremony and other things. It is necessary. So it can be done. So we don't need the brahmanas who can use mantra to get fire. That we may not get now. But at least, if a devotee is not greedy, he's qualified. What I said also is said by Krishna. A brahmana is not greedy. If he calls it a brahmana, whatever simple rituals he performs to work. And now it's your duty to remunerate. Don't just tell him that, Prabhu, we are Vaishnavas, This is offensive, this is wrong. Everything he has, all the mantra he has chanted for you, all the thing you have done is cancelled. Everything you have done is finished. Some devotees, they do like this. It's very, very offensive and very dangerous. They call devotees to come and do something for them. What is it? We are devotees. This is where you belong. That is where you will be. So where you belong, what of me? He's also giving something. That is very, very dangerous. We should not do it. Does it make sense?
Yes, Maharaj. Makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Yes. Let us follow it. Let us follow it. It is my principle that any devotee who just come and ask me, give me a name for my child, I will not give you. Only if you are going to do a naming ceremony properly. This is one of my offenses. One of my offenses. I will not give you. If you want them from me, you must be ready to do fire sacrifice, feed devotees, chant mantras, purification, do fire sacrifice. Then let everything done properly, bathe the baby nicely, chant all the mantras. Krishna did not need this body, but I said that did it just to teach us, to tell us that it's important, it's necessary for us to do. Otherwise, why our Acharya, one of the Goswamis, is writing this book to guide us and probably put in a purport. The devotees who are teaching this, they are following it and are seeing the example. I've seen many devotees told me that there's a difference between the child that did this and the child that didn't do it. I have a testimony, the devotees told me. All right. Yes, I was saying, Jiva Goswami remarks in this connection that every child, if given an impression of the Lord from his very childhood, certainly becomes a great devotee of the Lord, like Maharaj Parikshit. And Prabhupada gave example of himself. Prabhupada gave example of himself. One may not be as fortunate as Maharaj Parikshit to have the opportunity to see the Lord in the womb of his mother. But even if he's not so fortunate, he can be made so if a parent of the child desire him to be so. Like the process of Krishna. And Papa gave an example of himself here, because his father gave him this opportunity. That is what we have today. Papa, because he did. So we should do it. We should do it. It is compulsory. It is necessary. Yes, I don't want to finish this chapter. As the moon, its waxing fortnight develops day by day. So the royal prince, Parikshit, very soon developed luxuriantly under the care and full facilities of his guardian grandfathers. Just At this time, King Yudhishthira was considering performing a whole sacrifice to get free from sins incurred from fighting with the kinsmen. But he became anxious to get some work, but there were no surplus funds outside of fines and tax collections. This is where Arjun got his name, Dhananjaya. After this, he went to Marut. The next verse. On understanding the hearty wishes of the king, his brothers, as advised by the infallible Lord Krishna, collected sufficient riches from the north, led by King Maruta. Proper describe the whole thing here. King Marut performed Jagya. And he gave, as a topic, he gave everybody who came, he gave everybody got on his head. Finish. Until we stop. The remaining of the item which we will not give it. Some people, some brahmanas, what he has given to the brahmana and they couldn't carry. The one they could carry, they carried. The one they couldn't carry, they left everything there. And it was a mountain of that. Arjun went to collect all of them. Nobody knew what Krishna knew. Krishna told Arjun, go and collect all of them, their brother. Arjun went and collected all of them. So in this way, Maharaj Yudhishthira was able to do his Rajasuya sacrifice successfully. A quite heavy amount of money. He was very, very sorry for this, but on the advice of Narada Muni, he appointed Sambharata to the post, and he was successful in his mission. The sources of a particular type of sacrifice completely depends on the priest in charge. In this age, all kinds of sacrifice are forbidden because there is no learned priest among the so-called Brahmins who go by this false notion of becoming sons of Brahmins without Brahminical qualifications. In this age of Kali, therefore, only one kind of sacrifice is recommended, Sankirtan Jagya, as inaugurated by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is in chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Sukracharya, the teacher of the Asuras, he said, all sacrifices, the mistake. So I'm adding to the questions Salika Prabhu asked. Sukracharya said, even today we don't have a qualified brahmanas or priests, but we can still do the little one we can do. So even if the mantra is not properly chanted or proper the appropriate mantra will not chanted, whatever mistake or fault that is made during the sacrifice, at the end, once you do what? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. All the mistake, all the fault, all the incompleteness becomes complete. Hare Krishna. So we should do what is possible. What is possible. By those riches, the king could procure the ingredient for 3 horse sacrifices. There was the pious King Yudhishthira, who was very, very fearful after the battle of Kurukshetra, pleased Lord Hari, the personality of Godhead. Lord Sri Krishna, the personality of Godhead, being invited to the sacrifices by Maharaj Yudhishthira, saw to it that they were performed by qualified twice-born Brahmins. After that, for the pleasure of the relatives, the Lord remained a few months. O Sonaka, thereafter the Lord, having bid farewell to King Yudhishthira, Draupadi and other relatives started for the city of Dwarka, accompanied by Arjuna and other members of the Yadu dynasty. Thus end the battle done that purport to the first canto, 12th chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Birth of Maharaj Parikshit. Ki Parikshit Maharaj Ki Yudhishthira Maharaj Ki. Srila
Wow.
Prabhupada ki, Srimad Bhagavatam ki. See you tomorrow. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for the class. And at this moment, I want to request all of the devotees to please kindly unmute themselves and let's loudly chant Hare Krishna mantra to appreciate Maharaj for this wonderful class. So everyone can unmute themselves now. Let's loudly chant Hare Krishna mantra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, thank you everyone. So we'll see again tomorrow, same time, same channel. Hare Krishna. We're going to go off now so that we can